Chapter 37 to 42. Age 764, September 16th. Ryu is looking at the scions, then increase the gravity around them to 10k gravity of Earth. To those with lower power level and can't handle the gravity, lowered it to 5k gravity of Earth. Eris and Gohan kneel when the 10k gravity fell in them, and Ryu lower it to 5k, while the older scions stood with difficulty except Goku, whose power level is already big and his base form alone can defeat Perfect Cell. Attack me when you all are comfortable to move around in this gravity. And also the difficulty is decreased to 2.5 when Mom asked me to. So thank Mom for that. You all are lucky that I'm merciful, Ryu, whose 6-year-old said. Also his birth date is June 14th, age 758. Hearing what Ryu said just kept quiet so that their punishment will be 2.5 and will not increase. Goku is the one who attack first with a right hook, and Ryu block it with his arms and grab it. Then, punch Goku on the stomach. Next who attack is Raditz and Vegeta, who finally get the hang of the gravity around them and kick Ryu to the head, who dodge it by leaning back and then throw the already beaten Goku to Vegeta, who just dodged Goku when he was thrown, and continue to attack Ryu, who dodged the attack and trying to do it with instinct instead of using his brain. Sometimes Vegeta hit and sometimes not. Then Nappa join in with the fight and attack Ryu's exposed back with a ki blast, hitting him. Ryu stumbled when he got attack in his back and got kicked on the face by Vegeta. Ryu roll a few times and get up. As he wiped the dirt on his face. Looks like you two are doing a good teamwork. That's nice, Ryu said and blinked towards the back of Nappa, as Vegeta noticed Ryu and warned Nappa, but it's too late cause Ryu already kicked Nappa on the back, letting him fly towards the getting up Raditz, but got hit by a big man instead. Ryu then dashed towards Vegeta, who engaged the fight with their fist collided, creating a shockwave, but Vegeta grimaced in pain and Ryu took this chance by kicking him on the head and followed up with a slam to the ground. Goku, Raditz and Nappa recovered and dashed together towards Ryu, who's standing. While the fight is happening, Gohan finally got the hang of the gravity and ran towards Ryu and engaged in close combat, while Eris. Well, she is preparing a gloves that when she hit the target it would explode while protecting the wearer of the gloves. Eris dashed towards Ryu's back and punched him to the back, making Ryu surprised from the explosion and doing a little damage. Ryu then turned around and kneed her to the stomach. Just because she is his little lover, doesn't mean he will go easy on her. Eris coughed and then Ryu grabbed the hair and slammed her to the ground and catch the kick of Gohan and do what he gotta do. And that's Hulk grabbing Loki's leg and slam reference. Gohan coughed when he got slammed, but Ryu isn't finished yet and continues slamming him. Ryu even used Gohan as a bat and hit Eris at her back and let her get thrown. Goku and Raditz engaged a close combat with Ryu as Ryu attempted to let his instinct do its own thing. Goku's punch did not hit Ryu and Raditz's kick also didn't hit, and Ryu is just standing there like his instinct take over him, but it's not UI, but Ryu just letting his instinct and not using his mind at all. Which means it's not UI. Goku, Vegeta who join, Raditz, Nappa, Gohan and Eris sometimes hit Ryu, but Ryu most of their attack got dodged, but Ryu didn't attack them and only dodge or block the attacks. Eris then put a small piece of bomb that is the size of a marble, roll towards the feet of Ryu, who just let his subconscious to defend and dodge what he feel or sees, didn't notice the bomb and go kaboom. The scions back out and seconds later, Ryu is seen with his clothes torn down by the marble grenade that has an equal power of the original size of MK2 grenade. Dang. That's a cheap attack. Ryu said while tearing the torn clothes, except the pants of course. They didn't speak and fear that Ryu will increase the difficulty. Looks like lunchtime will be ready in 5 minutes. I will go serious then, Ryu said and get into his battle stance, and in a blink of an eye. He already arrived at Eris and punch her to the face, then kick Gohan who's close to Eris and making the bones of Gohan fractured. Ryu then roundhouse kick Raditz who's the closest while the others escape and watch Ryu kicking the arms of Raditz, and a creak sounded when the kick landed. Ryu then look at Vegeta and Goku and teleport to their back and grab the head and slam them to the ground. Looks like you all cannot go anymore. Oh well. The lunch will be ready in 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Let's go eat and continue when we finish eating. Ryu said while healing the bones of Gohan and Raditz who's grabbing his broken arms and hold it. When Ryu finished healing, he looked at Eris who already helped Chichi preparing the lunch, like the punch before didn't affect her much. Even thought there is a blood leaking through her nose and Chichi wipe it off. Let me heal you, Eris. Ryu said while running towards them and heal the bloody nose and also wipe the blood that's still leaking. Thanks, Ryu. But why didn't you hold back when you attacked me? Eris asked, while trying to be sad. "'Cause it would not be fair to the others if I let you off easily. Anyway, let's eat," Ryu said while going towards the table, and minutes later, 68 kids arrive at the lookout to eat and talk about the training. Just like that. Their lunch is finished and the Scions continue training. Age 764, November 16th. A month has passed since the thrashing of the Scion, and Ryu also show the SSJ-2 towards the groups. Ryu and Eris' relationship got spread when they got caught by Blossom holding hands with each other and looking at the sky, making it the day become a celebration and congratulate Ryu and Eris, who's only 6 years old. "Eris, do you want to go out with me, since there will be no training today? That is, if that's okay with you," Ryu said while scratching his head. "Sure, I would love to go out with you. Let's go." Eris then grab the hand of Ryu and fly to the city to have a date. While the two fly, Chichi, Goku, and Gohan high-five with each other. "Success, that's our son," Goku said while looking at them flying towards the West City. "Hehe, that's because I told him to," Chichi said, and Gohan nodded. "Ryu really is awesome, he already had a girlfriend," Gohan said as he looked at where Ryu and Eris is heading to. "Looks like our son wants to have a girlfriend. You can find many girls at high school," Gohan, Chichi said as Goku nodded. Gohan blushed and ran to cool off his mind. Goku and Chichi just laugh, and Goku also asked Chichi to go out with him, which Chichi nod, and to fly somewhere for their date. This kept happening, like Raditz going out with Kana and their Bell with them. Tien asking Launch to also go out with and have a bonding, since it's been 2 months they train and no time to spend with their family. Yamcha is finding someone that would be his lover and wife soon, while Nappa is taking care of the kids at the land and a lady around 50-year-old. She looks like in her 20s and see Nappa taking care of the kids. "Hi, can I ask you something, sir?" The lady in his 50 but look in her 20s ask. "Nappa, my name is Nappa, and what is it that you want to ask?" Nappa said while playing with the kids. "My name is Hina, by the way, and I'm from a high human race that lived 200 or more. I am in my 50s, by the way. I'm asking if you want to become my husband," Hina said with a straightforward face. "Is this your tradition or something, 'cause you just introduce yourself with your race and age? And you even ask me to be your husband?" "Of course I agree," Nappa said while puffing his chest out, and the kids climb and drum his head. "No, it's not a tradition to look for a husband in our race. Since you already agreed to be my husband, then I will be your wife. By the way, is this your kids' husband?" Hina said, and look at the kids playing around, and some even talk to her. "No, these kids are something Ryu and his family found and bring them here," Nappa said, and continued to tell her the story of what happened about these kids. Anyway, their power level increased to a large margin in just this month, and even the races that has no Zenkai boost, powered up in a considerable amount if you compare it to the Scions, albeit a little. Power level of RMSOG. Scions. Nappa 5 billion. Raditz 8 billion. Vegeta 8 billion. Goku 25 billion. Gohan 3 billion. Eris 2 billion. Ryu 225 billion. Piccolo 300 million. Krillin 50 million. Yamcha 30 million. Tien 20 million. Chichi 100,000. Just like that, Nappa immediately getting married, Vegeta going out with Bulma, who ask him, Yamcha searching for someone that he will be with for his whole life. Chichi and Goku going out for their date. Ryu and Eris testing many games and foods at the amusement park. "Thank you for bringing me here, Ryu," Eris said while eating a cotton candy. "No problem. Let's go try the roller coaster," Ryu said as he grabbed the hand of Eris and locked it with his hand. "Hey, you too." Someone then called out at the dark alley to Ryu and Eris, who was heading towards the roller coaster. "Us, what do you want?" Ryu said while sensing 4 more people hiding. Ryu look at Eris and tell her to not cause chaos. "Yes you, I have a candy here. Do you want this? Follow me to the van, and I also have many candies at the van," the guy said, or should I say the obvious, kidnapper one. "Really? Then we should go to your van then, but can you first show that you really have the candies in the van," Ryu said, while Eris just let Ryu handle the situation. "Yes, come with me and you will see many candies in the van," kidnapper one said as he told Ryu and Eris to follow him, which they did and follow him. Kidnapper 1 then opened the van and full of candies in the seat of the van. "See? We have many candies, come inside and you can have all of this candies for you 2-inch," Kidnapper 1 said and gestured towards the bowls of candies. "Thanks for the candies, uncle," Here's a gift to your other 4 friends by the way, Ryu said as he blocked the vocal cords and destroying it completely from the inside. The same thing happens to the 4 kidnappers who did not even know what happened. Eris. Let's call the guards and also get all of the candies too, it should be sufficient for the kids at the lookout, Ryu said while in a blink of an eye, the 5 kidnappers are tied up from their clothes being made into a rope. Eris nodded and called someone to call the police or guards of a 5 kidnappers. The person Eris called then called the police about a 5 kidnappers. Minutes later, the police arrive and it's the same police officer from the time Raditz and Ryu go to meet up with Kana. Ah, it's the police officer who from before, Ryu said as the police officer looked at Ryu and noticed the trademark hair and remember him. It's you again, how are you, kid? It's been so long since I last saw you. Is the story the same with he thugs again? Are you some kind of a wealthy kid whose parents even send a guard for you? Police officer Jeff said. I'm not wealthy. But she is. She is my girlfriend by the way, cool right? Ryu said as he put his hand to the other side of Eris' shoulder, who's blushing. Hi. Officer, we called you here for this 5 kidnappers who tried to kidnap us, but a hero in red suit come and attack their neck and that must be the reason they do not talk, Eris said as she pointed at the 5 red spot on the neck. I see. You 2 can go now and be careful next time, okay? Officer Jeff said. Ryu and Eris nodded and continued their plan of riding the roller coaster and ride it. Just like that, their nights are full of eating and playing. Age 764, November 17th. Ryu is training with the Scions. Well, not really. Ryu just toying them around and the no Zenkai Z fighters who sparring just feel the pain of just watching them getting beat up. Even Eris cannot escape the hell level of training as she gets slammed to the ground by Ryu, who then grabbed the incoming fist of Goku and punched the face. Ryu the dash towards Vegeta and Raditz to smack the 2 on their head and kick the shoulder of Nappa, dislocating his arm from his shoulder. Ryu also grabbed Gohan's incoming kick and slam him hard to the ground. Finishing the first round, Ryu healed them and continued the beating of the Z fighters. Just like that, 2 years and 5 months has passed and their power level increased so much that even the Buu saga will be easy and can defeat it like there's no threat that could threaten the universe 7. Age 767, May 12th. Ryu and the Z fighters are heading towards the location future Trunks had said. At the island 9 kilometers southwest of southern capital. Kana also joined the training from age 765, May 1st. To help fight the androids. Their power level today is Science. Nappa 100 billion. Raditz 160 billion. Vegeta 130 billion. Goku 300 billion. Gohan 68 billion. Eris 65 billion. Ryu 1 trillion. Piccolo 4 billion. Krillin 800 million. Yamcha 700 million. Tien 670 million. Chichi 10 million. Kana 6 million. Heading towards the island that future Trunks said. They arrive and see Vegeta and Bulma with a baby in her arm as they wave at Goku, Krillin, Tien, Yamcha, Gohan, Piccolo, Kana, Raditz, Eris, Chichi, and Ryu. While Nappa is at the lookout to protect the kids with Hina with him. They landed at the island where Bulma and Vegeta is waiting and greet the 2. How are you guys? We haven't seen each other since age 766, June 1st. Looks like that you 2 also have a baby. Goku said while looking at baby Trunks. Long time no see to you 2, Goku and company. So how's the training effect of Ryu going? Bulma said with baby Trunks in her arms. It's good. We got strong and I think this fight will be easy with our power, Goku said. By the way, what's the time right now? Goku asked. It's around 9:45 a.m. The androids will be coming 15 minutes from now, and here's the scouters by the way. Bulma said as she threw a capsule to Goku. Goku nodded and throw it to the ground and making a smoke. Seconds later, it reveal a safe bank-like and Ryu open it with the approval of them. While Shishi, Kana and Bulma are talking to each other. Opening it, Ryu see a full of scouters and hand the scouters to the others and pick one to himself. Ryu then press a button as it transform into a capsule and hand it to Bulma. Thanks Ryu. By the way, Karo and I already finished the research about your blood and you can go to the capsule core and Karo will tell you about it. Bulma said as she put the capsule in her pocket. Ah, I forgot about that, Thank you for reminding me about the research, Bulma-san, Ryu said while remembering that he did told Bulma and Karo to help him research about his blood at Namek. No problem, anyway. It's 9:58 a.m., 2 minutes from now. The androids will arrive, Bulma said while looking at her watch. I see. I will tell the others then, see ya later. Bulma-san, Ryu then walked towards the others to tell them to turn on the scouters as the time is ticking. 2 minutes later, Ryu finished telling them to turn on their scouter as it beeped and a power level around 122 to 128 million showed up below them and see two guys, a fat guy and the old guy with a red ribbon logo in them. Looks like they have arrived, let's go and see if we could research them and make our own androids to have a sparring partner, Eris said with a smile in her face. The Z fighters just sigh at her antics and Eris fly towards the androids while they follow her. Landing in front of the two guys, Eris looked at their body and the red orbs in their palm. Hey, can I have your body for research purpose only, Eris said while the Z fighters just let her be. Who are you, 19, kill her. Android 20 said while Android 19 nodded and a ki blast formed in his palm and shooted towards Eris, who let the ki blast hit her. That's not nice, you know. The price for dirtying my clothes will be your body then. Eris said while the smoke dispersed and see the completely fine Eris. Android 19 and 20 was surprised and tried to escape from her, but Eris make a rope-like key and shoot it towards the two, tangling them. What do you want from us, and why did you suddenly attack us? Android 20 said while trying to break free from the rope. Androids are awesome. Look, Ryu, they can even speak like a human. Are they really an androids or cyborgs? Let's find out by dissecting this too, then Eris said while walking towards the two whose face look in fear and try to absorb the rope. While Eris is walking towards them. The Z fighters just talk with each other at the building they landed on. Looks like those two will be dissected and become her toy. Oh well. Ryu, Gohan, how's your education? Did you two at the high school level already or college? Raditz asked Ryu and Gohan, who shrugs and answer him. I'm at the college level and I'm thinking of graduating early and build a farm or a singer or a movie director, which I want the Capsule Corps as the sponsor. I don't know what I want to do yet, Ryu said while Gohan answered next. I am at the college level also and I'm thinking of staying at school and will not skip grades, Raditz-san, Gohan said. Raditz nod and they talk about how there's a new higher transformation that Ryu achieved, called SSJ3. While they are talking, Eris and the androids are fighting when they finally absorb the rope and break free and increasing their power. Android 19 power level increase from 122 million to 300 million. While Android 20 power level increase from 128 million to 400 million. This power. Your rope gave us this much. How powerful are you? Android 20 said in fear and greed. Thinking that if he absorbed her all power level, he would be the most powerful android on Earth. Who knows? How about you two find it out by this 2 key balls? Hope you don't die, okay, Eris said while shooting 2 key balls towards the two who absorb it and increasing their power level. Android 19 to 700 million. Android 20 to 800 million. Nice. Looks like your power increased by a large margin from those 2 key balls. Eris said while looking at the red orbs. Eris then arrive at their back as the two become surprised to see that Eris is gone and look around to feel their neck getting hit. They look at their back in difficulty and Eris create another key rope and this time in their wrist so that they cannot absorb it and also putting a rope in their neck. Age 767, May 12th. Android 20 who's in the rope shouted towards Eris. Wait, I will bring you to my laboratory if you let go of me. Android 20 said desperately while looking at Eris who's bringing them to the other Z fighters. The others who heard him fly towards them and look at him intently. I will let you go if you tell us where your laboratory, Vegeta said and a key ball formed in his hand. If not, your head will be blown. He then aimed it at Android 20 who's sweating. I swear. Please let me go, and I will tell you where my laboratory is. Android 20 said while Android 19 didn't talk anything. Tell us where is your laboratory now, or you will die here. Ryu said. I will. I will. But, can you let go of me first? Android 20 said. Ryu looked at Eris and nod at her. Eris nod back and dispersed the rope around Android 20 while keeping Android 19 for her research. Please follow me, and I will lead you to my laboratory, Android 20 said, and the others nodded. Android 20 then flied towards where his laboratory is and thought. Kakik, what an idiots. I will open the capsule of 16, 17, and 18. Then tell them to kill this guys. Even though 16 is defective, I still can use him to fight Goku, and 17 and 18 should be enough for this guys. I should also open my newly creation, Blob. An android I created with the use of the blood cells of the kids from the one they bring here from space, Android 20 thought while flying. Even though Blob is incomplete because I haven't get the blood cell of Goku's second son, it should be enough to fight them together with 17, 18, and 16, Android 20 thought, and minutes later they arrive at the laboratory of Android 20. We are here, please follow me. Android 20 said as they nodded. Android 20 reached in his pocket for a remote and pointed it towards the rock, and when he pressed the button, the surroundings shake and a door open. Looks like we have arrived. Since I promised to let you go, you can scram now, Vegeta said while smirking. Thank you, I will go now, Android 20 said while secretly opening the 4 capsule of 16, 17, 18 and Blob. Except that the only bloods Android 20 give him did not include blossoms. Bye-bye. You can die now, Ryu said and shoot a laser with his finger, surprising Android 20. What, I thought you would let me go, Android 20 said and look at the hole in his chest. Oh yes. Vegeta-san did say you can go, but not us. We haven't said anything about letting you go anyway, Ryu said while smirking and shoot another laser towards Android 20 head. You. Asho. Android 20 said and the second laser hit his head, stopping him from talking. Let's go and see what's hidden in this laboratory, Goku said while Bulma with Trunks in her arms follow excitedly. But when they reach the gate, for silhouette appear and seconds later it revealed a black hair man, a blonde hair girl, a tomahawk orange hair, and Vegeta like hair with a face of Goku walk. Huh? Who are you? Krillin asked and looking at Android 18. While thinking of his drawing from Namek. A small guy, huh? And many powerful fighters are all here, Android 18 said and walked towards Krillin, who's backing out, and kiss his cheek. Krillin got surprise and touch his cheek. He blush and go to the back while looking at her time to time. I am Android 17 and this girl here is 18. While that big guy over there is 16 and that guy is Blob. Dr. Jero named him that because his lazy, Android 17 said and reached his hand for handshake. Goku then shook his hand and a confused face appeared. Are you a threat to Earth? Goku said confused. Don't worry about us. But you should worry about Android 16, here since Drive Jero order his brain to attack you, as Android 17 said that. Android 16 dashed towards Goku and punch him, which Goku dodge it. Goku and Android 16 then fight somewhere while Chichi and the others follow except for Vegeta, Aris, Ryu, Bulma and Piccolo. You should be the second son of Goku. Let's fight, Kid Blob with a similar face of Goku and a hair of Vegeta said. Not interested. What type of android are you anyway? You look like my dad and had a hair of Vegeta, Sanryu said while looking at him with a weird face. Don't look at me like that, anyway. Let's fight whether you like it or not, Blob said with excitement and punched towards Ryu. Vegeta-san, Piccolo-san. Please destroy the lab and Aris. Fight Android 17 and 18 if they attack you, or Bulma-san, Ryu said while dodging around from the punches of Blob. We will. You can just stay here, Vegeta, and protect your wife, and I will destroy this lab, Piccolo said as he fly inside the lab and planting a key bomb around and will detonate if he willed it. Thanks, I will fight this android then. Let's go somewhere, Ryu said, and Blob nodded with excitement in his face. Looks like they are fighting. We will go now, Android 17 said with a smile, and Android 18 look where Krillin is and smile. Nope. I will not let you go somewhere without Ryu's permission, Aris said with Android 19 in her rope. I see. We will stay here then and wait for them to finish, and also that Ryu kid will be killed cause Blob is the strongest android than us combined. He has the blood of all the kids you bring from space, Android 17 said as he sat down to wait for them. Fufufu, you underestimate Ryu at all. He's the strongest in our group, so that Blob guy you're talking about will be the one to be defeated, Aris said while raising her chest out. I see. Oh well, let's just wait for the two to arrive then and see the result, Android 17 said while Piccolo already got out while killing Cell when he stumbled upon him by blowing it up 100 times for a sure kill. Piccolo then detonate the key bombs he placed inside and making too many noises inside. Piccolo also bring the blueprints and many secured safe to Bulma for research purposes. They look at Piccolo, who arrive with explosion at his back and hand the documents and blueprints for androids at Bulma, who ask for it. Age 767, May 12. Ryu and Blob stared at each other waiting to attack first. You better give up fighting me, you're not my match, Ryu calmly said. Heh, what a load of bullcrap. Just say that you're scared of me, Blob ridiculed. Gazing Ryu in contempt. Ryu sighs and creates a different dimension with his magic. Sucking him, and Blob, who's surprised, looked around in cautiousness. Ryu attacks the surprised Blob with a ki blast, followed up with a somersault kick. Blob blocked the attack as he stumbled backwards with some bruises on his left arm. You are strong. Then I should use my full power on you. Ah. Blob said and powered up to his fullest, but got interrupted by Ryu, who bombarded him with numerous ki blasts. Ryu also checks his PL to formulate some plans. Blob PL, 500 billion. This Blob is stronger than I thought. If this threat ran amok, then this world will know pain, Ryu thought, but drifted towards a certain orange hair ninja. Somewhere around a different dimension. Achoo. Who's talking to me? I shouldn't even feel cold anyway, the certain orange hair ninja said with his cold tone and piercing cold eyes. I've read too many cultivation novels. Anyway, let's continue with our main story. Blob, right? I hope you give me a satisfying fight today and don't hold back since this dimension is quite durable. Now, let's dance, Ryu said in a fighting stance. Blob nodded with excitement, with smoke lingering around his body where Ryu's ki blasts hit him. Blob and Ryu dashed at each other, with their fist raised, hitting each other. Outside the dimension, Goku and Android 16 are fighting each other. Of course, Goku is winning in his base form, suppressing his power to 0.009% of 300 billion. Which is around 26 million PL. Sigh, this is getting boring. I didn't even use 1% of my power and you can't even scratch me. I'll just end this, Goku said with a disappointed look and knocked 16 to the ground. Picking the body of 16, Goku flew towards the group and tossed the body towards Vegeta and said to Bulma. Here's Android 16, you might need him for your research. Bulma. Goku landed next to Gohan and Chichi. Vegeta glared at him with a hateful look and clicked his tongue. Kakarot. Do you want to fight me, huh? As Vegeta said, he goes into Super Saiyan and puts the body in front of Bulma. And flew towards Goku, who dodged the attack. Hey, that's mean of you, Vegeta. But if it's a fight you want, sure, Goku said excitedly as the duo flew somewhere to fight. The Z fighters shake their heads with a helpless look. Inside the dimension of Ryu. Only a minute has passed, but the power level of Blob keeps increasing at an insane rate of growth. Which makes Ryu frown, but also gets excited. The two of their fist meet as the gust of wind blows their indestructible shirts. Let's leave it in our mighty novel logic or anime logic. With each of their attacks met, a shockwave follows. The dimension also expanded every second as Ryu's power increased. Their current power level reaches 2 trillion while it's still increasing every second. Thanks for this exciting fight, Blob. Now let's finish this fight so that I can eat, Ryu grinned while still in base form. While Blob grits his teeth, knowing that Ryu is stronger than him and can't even force him to use SSJ. Stupid Jero, planting me a piece of knowledge to destroy Ryu. I can't even force him to use all his power, Blob whispered hatefully. Blob's brain kept working at an insane speed, and with his IQ acquired from the Tuffles with some skills of the other races Dr. Jero transplanted him. Tried to come up with some plan to escape or at least injure Ryu in a grave state, which is unlikely to happen. Ryu, who's charging up Goku's signature move, shouted at Blob, who's just standing there in a daze. Hey! Focus on the fight or you might perish in this attack. Ryu warned as the Kamehameha becomes smaller, but the color changes into a deep blue-green that is ready to unleash its terrifying might. Ah, I read too many Chinese novels. Blob, who heard him shrink in fear as he used the teleportation of that hedgehog-looking race to at least teleport the attack towards Ryu. Ryu unleashes the Kamehameha, while Blob uses his full power to suck it and hit Ryu. Ryu, who knows what he's trying to do, just smirks and lets it hit him. Ah. Hearing the scream of Ryu made Blob overjoyed and look at Ryu, who disappeared. Ha ha ha. Take that, you monster. Whew, that was scary. Blob said as he sat down to the ground to rest. Ryu, who got hit by his attack earlier, already teleported behind Blob, grinning ear to ear. Watching the oblivious and relieved Blob that's thinking he defeated him. A minute later, Blob suddenly realized that he was still in the dimension. making him break in sweat, and looking around in fear. Ryu tapped his shoulder and saw Blob ready to cry in a moment. Boo! Ryu scared the living shit out of Blob, who passed out from fear. What a weak-willed guy. I should go out now, Ryu said, waving his hand. The dimension distorted and Ryu and Blob got thrown out, landing to the ground with a thud except for Ryu, of course. Ryu picked the body to his shoulder, flew towards the group and handed the body to Bulma. I'm not a body collector, okay? Why are you father and son giving me bodies? Bulma said with a weird face. Oh, sorry. I thought you wanted to research him and make an android for our training, Ryu said, bowing towards Bulma. Sigh, alright. Piccolo-san, can you handle these bodies please, Bulma said. Planet Beerus. Whis is looking at his scepter, watching the universe. Until he sees an interesting fight taking place, called Planet Earth. Whis watches Ryu and Blob fighting with galaxy-shattering power in the different dimensions, and Ryu playing with his enemy until Ryu hands it to Bulma. Interesting. I didn't expect that a mortal is capable of creating an independent dimension. This young man could be a threat to this universe, or is it? Might as well bring him here to monitor his movements, Whis whispered in amusement. Tapping his scepter to the ground, a cube formed in a blink of an eye. Whis disappeared. Minutes later, he appeared behind Ryu, who turned in surprise. Ryu, seeing Whis, appeared behind him. Frightened him. This also caused the others to be vigilant towards Whis, who appeared out of nowhere. Who are you? Ryu asked in ignorance, so Whis didn't suspect him of knowing his identity. Ho ho, don't be cautious around me. I'm just here to bring you back with me. I kinda like you, Whis said with a soft smile. Ryu, who heard him, back off in disgust. Are you gay, bro? I'm straight, okay. Don't talk like that, it creeps me out, Ryu said while the others weirdly looked at Whis. Why do you want me to go with you anyway? We don't even know you, Ryu said, as the other nodded with Ryu. Eris nodded vigorously and hugged Ryu tightly, fearing that this white-hair, feminine guy might take away her beloved and do something unspeakable. Get off of my Ryu, he's mine and no one shall take him away from me. Eris said, glaring at the smiling Whis fiercely. The atmosphere then turned awkward from this development. They turned their heads towards the trio, seemingly forming a scenario where two girls fight for their place and win the heart of the innocent pet. Age 767, May 12th. Ryu looked at Eris weirdly but didn't voice it out. So, why are you trying to bring me with you? Ryu asked while Whis smiled. To monitor you and see if you are a threat to this universe. Also, your power keeps growing every time you fight. Anyway, you don't have many choices to choose anyway, Whis said with a smile. As Whis talks, multiple portals opened up behind Ryu and the Z fighters. Whis' face turned serious as he feels the power coming through the portals. Ryu, I've come to take my revenge for defeating me, said a guy who's like a minotaur with 3 horns in his head, bronze skin and bulging muscles. Ryu, who quickly sensed him, turned around in a flash with his eyes glowing. Humo PL? Another voice sounded in one of the many portals, a tall man with a mustache appear. With his cold tone, he says. Long time no see, Ryu, or should I say Ryu, from the past. This time I will let you suffer by killing one by one of your family, so you will feel the suffering you brought upon me, making me lose my reputation in the Colosseum of mythical warrior. Thanks to you, I don't have any more places to go, he said while glancing towards the Z fighters and licking his lip. The Z fighters and Ryu with Whis look at him as they feel him to be the strongest of the other beings through the portals. Some portals have spaceships in them and some none. The total of portals appearing are hundreds or even thousands, making them frown upon this arrival of foes. Who are you? And what do you want from me? Ryu said while signaling the others to stand back. Whis-san, can you help me if the situation turns south? I want you to protect this planet or this threat will make the universe go apocalyptic, Ryu said in telepathy to Whis, who confirmed with a ting sound in his head. Oh me, I am the mightiest, strongest, handsome and most importantly, the one who hates you the most, Cronus the Celestial, Cronus said in a dramatic pose, while his followers cried out in vigor. Da fuck, do you have brain damage or something? Stop making that silly pose of yours and look at yourself in the mirror, you look like shit. Ryu mocked him, but his heart is full of alertness from this enemy. He then looked around to assess the power levels of the other fighter who passes through the portals. Their PL ranges from millions to trillions, while some are in question marks. But only 10 of these foes have question marks, including the Minotaur and that wannabe Cronus guy. Cronus, hearing Ryu making fun of him, exploded in rage. As he ordered his men to attack, while the other 9 PL stay behind to watch in amusement. This is a mistake, by the way, as Ryu will be stronger the longer he fights. Seeing there's no way to evade this fight, Ryu telepathically said to them to follow whis as he teleported the Earth far away from the solar system, in which he channels his power when he is talking to the enemy. Which does not include the enemies. Seeing that the planet they are standing on disappeared, panic broke out as some can't breathe in space, and with the suction of the vanishing planet, they got squashed by the gap in space. This does not happen to Ryu and the other enemies since they have higher awareness than the other. From the thousands of enemies, only 213 enemies left. PLs range from trillions to? While the Z fighters didn't even have time to say anything to Ryu when they got transported. Anyway, the enemies are getting angrier and angrier as time passes by till one of the enemies attack Ryu with a full power attack, which he deflects with a mocking smirk. TCH, weak. Is that all you can do? Let's dance, Ryu said, and go full power in a base form, which is in 2.3 trillion PL. Seeing this, the others finally take it seriously and circle him, so that he can't escape from them. Fuck you, Ryu, you keep taking the glory away from us, and now you will die today, ah. Cronus and the other 9? Enemies powered up. Less talk, more action, or do you want some cup of tea, mate? Ryu said while conjuring a cup of tea and throwing it to him. He dodges and attacks Ryu with his ki blast, injuring Ryu, who can't see the battle power. He healed himself and transformed into LSSJ. Making his PL grow 150x his usual base power, which is 345 trillion PL. Seeing that he still can't see the question marks, he added Kaioken X10, which does little burden to his body, and with his passive regeneration he did to his body in secret using his magic, his PL increase again and again, making his PL move in quadrillions in this form. And finally, he sees the number, which makes him scared but excited for this power boost when he survives, that is 10 to 100 quintillion of PL. Heh, so this is your current level when you are young, huh? That's good. We will slowly and surely kill you till you broke and feed your body to our pets, Cronus said with a sadistic smile. Heh, as if you can do that. This is not my full power, ah. Ryu then powered up again, but this time his hair kept rising and getting longer till he stopped, his hair being emerald green and his eyebrows still existed. This is the full transformation I can go to, which increases my power beyond your comprehension. Mortal Ryu played his role like a god, looking down at them, which earned him a tick from the enemies and fuming smokes coming from their ears. This LSSJ3 earned him an 800x to his base form, which is 1.84 quintillion, and with his 10x Kaioken, it increases to 18.4 quintillions. Oh, that's nice, but you still can't beat us with that puny power of yours. Anyway, goodbye, Cronus said in seriousness, as he feels that the longer they fight him, the stronger he gets, which they didn't want to happen. Seeing that his mockery didn't work and instead backfire on him, make Ryu take this seriously while coming up with a plan to escape from the enemies. The one who has 10 quintillions PL attacks Ryu with the goons. Ryu dodges the barrage of ki blasts towards him while firing back with laser beams straight to their hearts, killing 10 goons whose power level ranges between trillions to quadrillions. As the fight continues, more and more enemies kept coming towards him and more injuries getting healed every time he got injured. Give up, you can't defeat us by yourself. If you have your friends here, then you would have a chance to beat us. Sadly, you don't, Cronus said with a smirk. Stop it, Cronus, let's finish this once and for all before he gets stronger as he used to, which means that it will be us who will get defeated by him, said the second strongest of the 10. The voice kept changing into a feminine then to manly voice. I will not. I want to make feel the humiliation he gave to us, Kaza. Then we can kill him then. Look at that tired and sweaty face. Isn't that sweet? The fear, the helplessness, and the hope of never seeing the light again. Ah. What a spectacular expression. Cronus said like a pervert from a certain anime who has the power of rubber and gum. Kaza just stays quiet and look at the battle that's happening in front of them. This continues for an hour until Cronus finally decided to take action himself. Oh well, it's getting boring now. Goodbye and see you in hell, Ryu, Cronus said while powering up to his full power, which make his power level 2. Again with his arm raised forward towards Ryu, until a blinding light shines around the surroundings, but not before he releases the accumulated blast towards the direction of Ryu, hitting his head, making him go unconscious. 10 minutes before the blinding light appears. Ah, this is getting harder and harder to fight. It's like endless cockroaches that cannot be killed. Anyway, at least my power is getting stronger and stronger the longer I fight, Ryu thought while dodging some attack with his almost I omen self, but sometimes getting hit here and there. Someone even tries to hit his manhood, which he kills in the brutal way he could do in this situation. His current PL is in 30 quadrillions in base and with his LSSJ3 and Kaioken 10x, which is a total of 240 quintillion, which is enough to defeat them all, but the thing is, they kept coming and he cannot blitz through them until a blinding light appears, making him close his eyes from the sudden light while flying blood-red bullet energy hit him in the blink of an eye, hitting his head, making him dizzy till he falls, but a hand grabbed him and teleported away. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon at https://www.patreon.com/Kaioshin. I tend to polls that decide important plot stuff in my P at Trien. Many thanks to my awesome patrons: Wilnet Duverne, Yami Tancho, Harold's Martinsons. If you liked the content, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll stay here until next time.